Week 3 of college football is here. And, welcome to college football time with Avery Miguel. Miguel Mike Medina is my partner, Avery. Avery, we're going fast. We're already in week 3.
Oh, absolutely. Week three, some really great matchups. Had a really great game last night between NC State and Wake Forest. I think tonight and Saturday afternoon and evening, we're going to have some great games, especially with some great matchups.
And the first one I want us to talk about is Georgia versus Tennessee. Quite a rival, big game. Gunnar Stockton, he'll be making his first career road start. Interesting. Joey Aguilar, he'll be facing a top 10 opponent, probably for the first time in his career, I believe. Georgia, they have 8 straight wins against Tennessee, all of which were by at least 14 points. Um, it will be easy to go with Georgia with this one, but I'm gonna call it an upset. I have Tennessee winning this game 21-20.
Actually, I was really impressed with Tennessee week one. I know Joey Aguilar, he's just coming into the system, trying to get his footing, but I think Tennessee has something that could work in their favor. And of course, if you're playing in Knoxville, that's another stadium that's kind of difficult to play in. Also, I want to give a shout out to my friend Ben. He is actually going to be at said game against Georgia. So, shout out to Ben. I hope he has a great time. And I'm going to agree with you too. I am looking for Texas to upset I'm sorry, Tennessee to upset Georgia, having flashbacks of the college playoff. I like that score as well, but I'm gonna give Tennessee a little bit more. I'm gonna say 24-21. I'm thinking a walk-off field goal might work in Tennessee's favor.
Tennessee's offense has been off the charts this year. They have averaged at least 56, 58 points per game, and that's fourth in the FBS this season. As for Georgia defense, they've only allowed one touchdown this season so far. So it's going to be Georgia's defense versus Tennessee offense. But I just have a feeling that probably Tennessee will run away with this one. Well, not run away, but in the sense that they will escape this one with a win. But up to the next one, Avery. And this one is intriguing. This one could be an upset alert, but I hope it's not an upset alert. And that is USF versus Miami. South Florida versus the Hurricanes. South Florida, they're number 18, and they're looking for their third straight ranked win. Their defense in each game this season, they've allowed less than 20 points. As for the Miami Hurricanes, their defense have improved so much better compared to last year. One of the biggest improvements that Miami made was to hire the defensive coordinator. I'm forgetting his name already, unbelievable. But anyways, Ruben Bain Jr. has been one of the leaders of this Hurricanes defense. If he continues to play that he's been playing, he's going to receive high honors at the end of the season. Carson Beck, he just needs to do what he's been doing. Make completions, no turnovers. But Miami, they've been favorites to win 17 and a half. But I'm going to give South Florida the respect, and I'm going to say Miami will win at least by 9 points.
You know what? I was hoping you'd bring up this matchup. We've kind of been talking about this matchup even at work. I have some Hurricane fans and they are very hesitant about South Florida. Like I said, week one, they beat Boise State. Last week, they beat Florida. Do not sleep on the South Florida Bulls. For the past few years, they've had some really decent starts, but they also have this tendency to play spoiler. And if you don't pay attention to these teams that, like we said, on any given Saturday, any given weekend, really, you're gonna get burned. You're gonna get burned. So South Florida, I think they're gonna come at Miami very, very strong. I think their defense is going to try and run ragged against Carson Beck. But I agree with you. Let's look at Miami's defense to make sure they are keeping the South Florida Bulls in check. That 17 and a half points is kind of disrespectful. Actually, I'm going to say kind of. I think it is disrespectful. I think because they're looking at the conference and they're looking at the school's reputation in the past. But I think South Florida is going to give it their all. They're going to keep Miami up against the wall. They're going to tell them, "Hey, if you got to beat us, you have to come and beat us." And what's gonna happen is either, and I agree with you, Carson Beck cannot make mistakes. That's how the South Florida Bulls are gonna take advantage. I'm gonna go with Miami on this one, but I'm gonna give it a little bit of a close game for Miami. I'm going to say Miami's going to take it with about 4 points, but I'm going to say this is going to be a high scoring affair. I'm going to say Miami's going to win this game, kind of like how they beat Notre Dame. I'm going to say Miami 34, South Florida 30.
Fair enough, fair enough. We have number 12 Clemson versus Georgia Tech. This is their 90th meeting. Although historically Georgia Tech has a better record in their head-to-head matchups. However, Clemson has won the last 9 matchups, last 9 meetings. So in this one, Clemson has all the momentum, but still it is a classic matchup between two teams. I mean, this is the 90th meeting, so hopefully they make this 90th memorable. I have Clemson winning this game by at least 5 points.
That's interesting because they have Clemson winning by 8. But the most interesting thing, Georgia Tech's favored in this game. Georgia Tech is favored in this game. It's a slight favorite. You're talking about 55.9% versus Clemson's 44.1%. But this Georgia again, Georgia Tech is a team you cannot sleep on. Their game against Georgia last season, I think, was a top 5 game. I think Georgia Tech proved that any team, especially if they're coming to their house, or in this case, you're giving them the edge, they're going to take advantage of it. And Clemson does have the momentum, but I think that first game with LSU is still kind of haunting them in the back of their heads. So I think the Clemson Tigers, they definitely have a lot to prove. Even not a clear favorite, they are saying, Clemson's going to win by 8, but I think this is going to be a close game. I think this is going to be a close game. I think this is going to be a back and forth game. I also think that the defenses are going to showcase their superiority here. So I'm gonna have Clemson winning close, but they're gonna win close by like an odd score, like 26-24.
Speaking of LSU, speaking of defense, Florida Gators, LSU. LSU's defense, they have averaged 8 points this season so far. That defense, and we've spoken about this before, you're legit. The Gators are looking for redemption after losing to South Florida last week. So Florida will be coming into this game with a chip on the shoulder, but it will not be easy because we're dealing with a LSU team that they will be at home. Their quarterback plays exceptionally well at home, and that's a complete loaded team. So Florida Gators, you blew it last week. If you want to make a statement, beat LSU.
I completely agree with you. LSU dropped the ball. I'm sorry, Florida dropped the ball last week against South Florida. So, they're already talking, Billy Napier needs to go. At this point, I wouldn't listen to the noise. The Gators have showed some promise over the past couple of years. So if you really want to prove that you can compete in the SEC, you have to beat your conference opponents. And sometimes you have to beat your rivals too, even if the rivalries aren't as what they were maybe 10, 15 years ago. So, playing against the Tigers in LSU, that place is going to be like a madhouse. So I look for the Gators to try and start off really fast pace, get underneath that defense's skin in order for them to play catch up. But I completely agree with you. LSU's defense is top tier. So if the LSU defense can keep Florida under control, then they definitely have a shot to just put Florida down, if you will. I'm going to give Florida a shot, but I'm going to give them a small shot. But I think LSU has got this game. But I think Florida is going to try and stay competitive throughout the entire game, not one quarter, not one half. I think they're constantly going to be at LSU, whether it be trying to take a lead, either trying to make big plays or take advantage of great plays. So I'm going to give this a low scoring affair, but I'm going to have LSU winning by like a field goal. I'm going to say 17 LSU, 15 Florida.
All right, guys. Those are our thoughts, previews of this weekend's Week 3 college football. I do have an honorable mention that has a potential to be a great game, and that is Texas A&M versus Notre Dame. That one has potential. The Aggies are 2-0. I believe in order for Notre Dame to win this game, Coach Freeman needs to put the ball a little more into the hands of Jeremiah. You have to put it you have to put a little bit more on your running back. So, but that's an honorable mention. Um, that should be an interesting game. But guys, thank you for tuning in to College Football Time with Avery Miguel. Hope you guys enjoy week 3 of college football, and we'll be back here either Monday or Tuesday to give our thoughts on what we hope to be another fascinating weekend of college football. Thank you for tuning in, everyone.
Have a wonderful weekend, everyone, and enjoy college football.